King Henry II of England, as we learned about the affair with Thomas Becket, wanted to apply English law equally to everyone in the kingdom, including churchmen. After Henry dies, his son Richard takes the throne, and Richard dies within a few years, and King John takes the throne. John will be pulled into several ruinous wars by the King of France, Philip II, and he will lose during the course of these fights the lands of the nobles of England. If you recall, these nobles of England, their families had come from France. And so by coming to England, they got large areas of land here in England, and they became English nobles as well as French nobles. But when John loses the wars to Philip II of France, the nobles lose their properties in France, meaning that they are stuck with less profitable lands. They lost fortunes. To add injury to insult, John had levied taxes, lots of taxes, in order to pay for the wars he lost. Therefore, you can imagine the nobles are mad. And so what John's father, Henry II, did to laws for everyone, the nobles will return the favor and try to apply laws to the king. And that's going to happen here, somewhere in this field, west of London, or the main area of London. Heathrow Airport's right over there, so you're going to hear planes going over. There's going to be a meeting here. The nobles and their retinue, and the king and his retinue. They'll meet somewhere out in this field called Runnymede, and the knights and the nobles of England, now without their lands in France, will force King John to sign a document. And what this document is going to do is going to lay out various laws that the nobles will insist the king will follow. They are laws about trial by jury. They are laws about having one judged by the jury of their peers. They are laws that will take away the powers of the king to tax without the permission of the noble. It will be, in essence, one of the earliest documents that are going to set out a system of rules, not just for the regular people. The regular people were not addressed in this document. It was addressing the nobles and their attitudes and restrictions that they will put on the king. This document will be called the Magna Carta, or the Great Charter, and it's going to be signed approximately here where that gazebo is. And there will be an extensive number of memorials about it. But it will be heralded for the next 800 years as pretty much where democracy, the ideal of constitutional democracy, was born. It's not a document that allows for open voting by everyone, but it does send out the message that there are rights, responsibilities, and duties that everyone has to come under, even the king. So if anyone ever takes you up on a bet about what the name of the next King of England will be, you can have a sure bet by betting against the name John. There's only been one John, King of England, and there will never be another. And it's because he lost the land in France, he lost the full privileges of being a king, and what he starts is going to turn into something quite remarkable for the time. But we have to move from this muddy, wet, cold field to find out exactly where this Magna Carta, this great charter, will end up. So follow me. What started in the open field at Runnymede in 1215 with the nobles forcing King John to sign the Magna Carta. It's explicitly outlining the rights of the nobles and the duties of the king. This will lead eventually to this building right here. This is the Parliament building in the heart of London. This is where the House of Lords, which is the hereditary council of elders who meet to work with the king, to advise the king. The other chamber of the House of Commons, will come along later. That wasn't even considered in the creation of Parliament originally.